I am Vinay Kumar C, faculty, SVSS College, Bantwal. Online classes to the first year become students, SVSS College, Bantwal, as per the syllabus of Mangalore University. This is the topic I am covering in this lecture, Consignment Accounting. Introduction to Consignment. Basically, people are not aware about consignment. They know about sales, purchase, resale, etc. So this purchase, sales and resales, it comes under a business. So any economic activity is conducted by the people is known as the business for the purpose of earning profit or loss. So the consignment is also the part of business. Here also the goods is sent to the one party to another party, but the proprietorship or the ownership is not transferred. So let us discuss step by step. First, the meaning of consignment. The consignment is relates to the delivery of the goods for sale. That means the goods and services is sent to the another person who is an intermediary and who is also called as an agent. He sells the goods on the behalf of the first person. That means the person who sent the goods. So let us discuss who are the parties. There are two parties are exist under this type of transaction. The first party is called as a consignor and the second party is called as a consignee. Next, consign. Consign is relates a send or give or to another for care or safe keeping. The act of sending goods is called a consigning. So I already told there is a lot of differences between the sales and the consignment. Under the sales, the proprietorship is transferred from the buyer to the seller, but under the consignment, the proprietorship or the ownership it may not be transferred. Next, who is consignor? The consignor is a person who is sending the goods. He called the consignor. The person who received the goods or services is called a consignee. So let us discuss with example. Measures Innova Steels company sent 10,000 kgs of steels to the Maruti traders. So here 10,000 kgs of steels is sold by the sold by the Maruti traders. So Maruti trader is the agent, is doing the business on the behalf of the consignor. So the relationship between the consignor and consignee is the principal and agent relationship. Next, what about risk? Is it any responsibilities having by the consignor? Consignor has the ownership and the risk in the goods. The ownership and thereby risk in the total stock is with the consignor. The consignee holds the goods on the behalf of the consignor. The consignor is responsible for the act of the consignee in his status as an agent. So that means consignor have a responsibility of any type of risk taken by the consignee. That means the expenses may be borne by the consignor. The expenses may be after the expenses may be the gold and charges, everything will be paid by the consignor. Is it the consignee is the agent? Definitely the consignee is the agent. The consignee sells the goods on the behalf of the consignor and receives the commission for his efforts. So here let commission may be the different types of commission. an ordinary transaction, that means a cash transaction is done by the consignee, who is able to take a general commission. If the consignee sells the goods for credit and taking the risk of collecting the money, so that type of an extra work is done by consignee, he is eligible for taking the commission of del creda. So del creda commission is going to be provided at the time of a credit transaction is done by the consignee. So any incidental expenses on the sales are normally to be reimbursed by the consignor unless there is an agreement to the contrary. So this is also important. So whatever the expenses are that is incurred by the consignee, that should be reimbursed by the consignor if it is mentioned in the agreement. So next, the consignee only act as the agent of the consignor. So this is also true. This statement says that is it the consignee is the agent? Definitely the consignee is the agent, and also is an intermediary who is taking the responsibility to sell the goods on the behalf of the consignor. Anyway, the relationship between the consignor and consignee, it is like a principal agent relationship. So let us discuss this transaction with the help of a problem. Rakesh of Mumbai consigned the goods of the cost of rupees 20,000 to Krishna of Bangalore. The consignor paid freight of rupees 1,000 and insurance of rupees 500 and received an advance of rupees 10,000 from Krishna. The consignee paid a carriage rupees 300 and octroi rupees 200, and he sold all the goods for rupees 30,000. Whenever you are doing the problem, first you should identify who is the consignor and who is the consignee, and then you decide is it the advance is paid by the consignee or not. Okay, that is the second step you have to be done when you are doing a problem. And also you concentrate what are the expenditure that is incurred by a consignor. That means the expenses paid by the consignor, that is also important. And again, what are the expenditures that is incurred by consignee, so that is also important for the purpose of doing problem. So next, and also he sent the check to the Rakesh for the amount due after deducting his expenses along with the commission at 10% on the gross sale proceeds. Prepare unnecessary ledger accounts in the books of Rakesh. So this is the problem given. Next, so come back to the solution. So under this problem they are telling that the necessary ledger accounts to be prepared. What are those accounts that should be prepared? So first, journal entries in the books of a consignor, journal entries and ledger in the books of consignor. So now generally the consignment account, goods sent on consignment account, and consignee account should be prepared under the books of consignor account. So first, consignment account in the books of consignor. This is the table you should draw first. On the left hand side, the particulars amount, it is also called as a debit side. On the right hand side, called a particulars and amount, two columns are there, it is called as a credit side. Whatever the expenditure that is incurred towards the consignment, all the expenses should be a debit, and whatever the income that is incurred, that amount should be shown on the right hand side of the consignment account. So before we starting or doing this ledger, first we should know about the journal entry. What is the first journal entry should be prepared in the books of consignor? For the first journal entry is to be consignment account to goods sent on consignment. So why the consignment account should be debit? Because the consignor, for the consignor, this much of amount, this much of goods is an asset. That's why the consignment account should be debited. And what should be credited? The goods sent on consignment account should be credited. So anyway, the journal entry should be consignment account data to goods sent on consignment account. So left side 20,000 should be recorded. Next. The next entry. So the expenditure incurred by the consignor, 1 freight 1000, insurance rupees 500. So these are the expenditure is incurred by the consignor account. So we are preparing consignment account in the books of consignor. So we should not write the consignor name. Okay, whatever the expenditure that is incurred, it is loss. It is a loss for the consignment. So consignment account should be debit. So consignment account data to cash account. So how much amount you are recorded? 1 freight rupees 1000, insurance rupees 500. So both should be added and put in the amount column. Next. Similarly, the other expenditure is also incurred by the consignee. So you don't write consignee. So mention the name of the consignee. So Krishna is the consignee. Okay, he is selling the goods also. So he is also incurred some expenditure like a carriage, that is 200 rupees, and also the octroi rupees 500 rupees. So both the expenditure should be added and that should be credited to the Krishna account. So it is also loss for the consignment. So the journal entry, the consignment account data to Krishna account, 500 rupees on the amount column. Next. So similarly, the commission is also to be given to the Krishna. So commission is also loss for the consignor. So consignment account should be debit and Krishna account should be credited. So much? 3,000 rupees. How you arrive at 3,000 rupees? It should be calculated on the sale proceeds. So that is 30,000 rupees. 30,000 multiplied by 10 by 100. So you are going to get 3,000 rupees. So 3,000 rupees is a commission. Come back to the right hand side. Is it any income you are earning? Yes. So the sales profits is done by the Krishna. So sales is always a credit. So what is the journal entry? Krishna account data to consignment account. So instead of writing sale account, you should mention consignment account. The journal entry should be Krishna account data to consignment account. So by Krishna account 30,000. So 30,000 is the sale process. So next we make it a balance. So right hand side 30,000 rupees should be there. So deduct all the amount on the left hand side. So finally you are going to get a 5,000 rupees. Okay. So 5,000 rupees should be transferred to profit and loss account. So journal entry consignment account data to profit and loss account. Next. So this is also one more ledger prepared in the books of a consignor account. So consignee. So you should mention the name of the consignee. So Krishna account. So whatever the transaction that relates to the Krishna, so all the transactions should be mentioned here. So in the last slide we see that the sales profits are done by the Krishna. So the journal entry should be Krishna account data to consignment account, right? So Krishna account debited to consignment account 30,000. So on the left hand side 30,000 should be mentioned. Next, on the right hand side there are several expenditure that is incurred by Krishna. So that's why on the right hand side 500 rupees mentioned. So the journal entry is like this: consignment account data to Krishna account. So by consignment account 500 rupees. Again the commission is also earned by the Krishna. So the journal entry consignment account data to Krishna account 3,000 rupees on the amount column. So one more transaction, the advance is given to the consignor. So who is the receiver? The consignor is the receiver. So bank account data to Krishna account. So this is the amount is received. So that's why bank account data to Krishna account, 10,000 rupees. So finally 16,500 rupees is the balancing figure. So these are the ledgers we are prepared in the books of consignor. Similarly, you can also prepare a goods sent on consignment account also. Thank you for watching.